we're looking at this current occupant felon in the White House. Okay. Let's look at J.D. Vance. Somebody asked me to look at the horrible racist, I can't even say the words, comments that were made on a right wing, I guess a blog or a post. And what JD said, like, oh, this boys being boys. These are 40-year-old. Um, a lot of people were fired because of the things that were so horrific that were that were very violent, cruel, and racist on this talking site. Okay, so some people were fired. And then, so somebody asked me to look at that. What's going to happen with that? And it's No King's Day. I am going out and I'm going to join in my local little town rally here. And so I may be reporting back to you and letting you know how that went either later today or Monday. And I have my big American flag. I'm going to go wave that because I'm actually very patriotic. Um, who knew? Yeah, I love our country, and so okay, I'm going to go do that shortly. So this might be a quick one. We'll see how long it takes. Um, so, well, also today is a shopping blackout day on the 18th of October, especially for, like, I guess if you order things from Amazon or Whole Foods. I don't go there. I try not to go there unless I'm absolutely can't go anywhere else that needs something. They do bring stuff overnight the next day, which I think is rigged. But I really have avoided certain stores that are backing this regime. Okay, so but today is a no shop day. So I was going to go grocery shopping. I'm like, oh, okay, I did not know that. So I'll go tomorrow. I have, some canned goods and frozen stuff I can eat today. Um, okay, so there was a court ruling. Let's talk about, you know what? But let me back up for a minute. Let me say that if I knew everything and if everything was already decided, you'd have to wonder who I was. There's only, supreme being, whether that's a man or a woman or a Jesus or Buddha or something, that knows everything. And not also the other thing is that not everything is decided. We have free will here. So, yeah. So we'll take another look at the shutdown. I was getting a 2. I hope that's not 2 months. I thought it'd be maybe 2.5 weeks. But I do know that this current, Kankles does not want to open the government. But no, he's trying to destroy the government. He also, so we'll talk a little bit more about how desperate he's getting. And he ran away from the White House. He's hiding down in Mar-a-Lago today because of the No King's Day protests. I really feel like he's paranoid. Also, there's some of his staff it's been leaked that some of his, and this isn't a psychic reading, but I've been sensing this psychically, that he'll throw anybody under the bus. He'll do like the most crazy, bizarre things. Oh, he pardoned George Santos, somebody who nobody likes on either side. But those are his people, crooks and criminals and con men. That he gets those people. That's who he wants. That's why he pardoned when he pardoned the January 6th, it should have been impeachment, 25th Amendment right there. I mean, how a felon could even run to get in the White House is beyond me. But okay, I guess we have a social media or people dishonest. Now people are waking up. There's a lot of cracks in the foundations. I believe it was last night the Senate said that's another thing with the shutdown. I felt like he was going to try to push through something to pay the troops, and I felt like the Senate would back him. I was wrong. Senate said no. Some senators said no. we're not stopping the shutdown because he wants to piecemeal it out so he can still keep everybody shut down and fire all these employees and hike up your health costs through the roof. He wants to do that, but pay his military so they'll do what he, because he wants them to try to take over the country. The Senate said, no, we see your game. No, we're not doing it. That's the first time. I think that's the first time since he's been elected. They said no. Enough of them said no. You needed 60 votes, and about 5 or 6 said, no, we're not doing that. We're not playing that game. What? Okay, and then here's what you got to hear too. So that happened. There are cracks in the foundation. I'm telling you, it's like a trapped animal when they're desperate and cornered, or when you're getting out of an abusive relationship. If you've ever had the the experience of that, that's when you need the restraining order, because that's when they're most dangerous. That's where he is. He feels like a trapped, cornered. He's panicking. He knows. His staff knows. The cabinet knows too. They know. There's been talk about 25th Amendment and what would that look like. We need J.D. Vance to sign on that. I don't think we're there yet, but I'm going to keep looking. Usually I go on a walk and I meditate before I do a reading, and I like to have something for you, but I haven't gone on my walk yet. But I am having some downloads, and I wanted to tell you I'm going to the No King's Day parade, and don't shop, okay? And vote yes on 50 in California. If you're in California, yes on 50, please. We need to take back our Congress and our Senate. I believe it's Senate too. You guys are more political. Some of you guys know better than I do. I know how to look at energy, and I know how to move energy. I know how to work with guides. I know all that stuff, but I'm not the top political person. I just put myself out there because I love this country and I want to do my part. And speaking of that, please subscribe to my channel to support me, and it means a lot. And like this video, I appreciate that. It goes a long way. Okay, so J.D. Vance, he does not care. Are there going to be any consequence? Okay, so here's the thing, what my guides are telling me. They don't care about public opinion anymore. They just want their small, little fascist, violent groups and levers of power. They don't care if you have health care. They don't care if you have a job or can feed your kids. They're fine with that. They don't care even if you vote for them, because they're going to cheat and they're going to just take over, traumatize you. They want to, like an abusive relationship, they want to force you to be in fear to go along with them. Like, if you don't vote for us, you're not having a job, you're not going to have a life, we're going to sue you, But there's enough of us speaking out so that they're, the Republicans, the Senate's already going like, wait a minute, we are saying no. I think they did one other time. They kind of said no to him, but they're like, no, we're not going to vote with the president this time. Okay. And so back with J.D. Vance, what's going to happen with him saying that, that those men can talk about doing horrible things to people, racist things to people, and it's just, boys will be boys. They're just kids. But they're not kids. And if they are kids, you need to teach your kids that kind of talk and those kind of, like, I don't care how old you are. If you're saying that stuff, you need to teach those kids, like, that's not okay. They didn't even say that. They didn't have to, they didn't even say, we're not going to fire him or anything. They just said, it's okay. And they didn't even say, like, well, so mothers, so people feeling trapped. What's going to happen to J.D. Vance? Women don't like him People just don't like him. He's just going to keep putting out his same message. They just lie, lie, lie. Yeah, it's a balancing act. He'll say, oh, I never said that. Because before he called our president the H word from World War II. That guy. They called, oh, he said, there, he's just as bad as that guy. And then he got elected to vice president. Now he's like, oh, he's fine. It's fine if kids say racist things and talk about that. That's funny. No, it's not funny. And so he's going to just play it off like, I didn't say that. Oh, you misunderstood what I said. I never said that. And that was just whatever. So that's what's going to happen with that. Not much. Are other people people were fired over that? Are other people, well, let me ask, is he going to lose, are the Republicans going to lose votes because of that racist talk? Yeah. Okay. I still have hope. I think most people are good. Yes, there's a small amount of violent and prejudiced people. Violence is now considered a form of mental ill. Not violence. Yeah, violence. Yeah, but also prejudice. Forms of mental illness. Who knew? I'm not a psychotherapist. I'm a pastoral counselor, a metaphysician, and a healer. But okay. Let's look at the Supreme Court said, and the mainstream news is not reporting this. Okay. They said that he can't do the tariffs. You can't do that. Congress, by law, Congress controls the purse strings. The executive branch is there to carry out the laws, not just, and they can kind of monitor things and do some executive orders, but they're not just there to just override everybody, make the laws. So the whole tariff thing was about him controlling everybody in the world. And the Supreme Court said, no, you can't do that. So now what's going to happen? Are they just going to go, oh, we lost? No. They're not following other court orders that said they need to fund government projects. In 22 states, a federal judge said that this administration, they're blocking funding for infrastructure projects, for schools, for clean water. They're blocking that money because it's, oh, waste, fraud, and abuse. And a federal judge said, no, it isn't. And you need to fund those projects. You can't just withhold billions of dollars from these 22 states. I don't even know which states it was. But so what are they going to do when court orders say you have to stop the tariffs? Oh, they're going to fight. I'm pretty sure they're going to appeal it or say, oh, we didn't understand what you said, or it isn't really clear. That's what they did with Kilmer Abrego and other cases. They're just go in there and send somebody in there and make it sound like, oh, it's, you weren't clear, or this is un-American. They're just liberal left lunatic judges. They're just going to say something like that. So, but this is the Supreme Court said, oh, no, on the tariffs. You can't do that. So they might try to say, I mean, they can do certain percents with certain things and little things, but they can't just put blanket tariffs on everybody. He doesn't have the right as the president to do that. That's what the Supreme Court said. Absolutely no. You cannot do that. So let's first with that one, then let's look at the projects that are being, the funds are being withheld from. But let's look at the Supreme Court Are they going to follow what are they going to do with the order of the Supreme Court said that they do not have the authority to put tariffs on everything. This president cannot do that. He cannot put tariffs on whatever he wants. That's not within his power. He needs to take them off. That's what they said very clearly. No, Roberts said that, amazingly enough. Roberts, who agreed with taking away the right to abortion and has been gutting the Voting Rights Act, actually stood up and said no to him. No, you can't. There are other court cases, I believe it's in New York, where they're starting to say we're going to seize your assets to this current. It doesn't matter. It's not a criminal case, but you have to pay the fines that you were ordered to pay. So those cases are coming up. Okay. Excuse me while I had a cup of tea there. All right. So what will happen? Will they follow the Supreme Court? I don't think they will, but we'll look at the cards, say. Let me look psychically. He's going to tell the judge you can't do that. He's going to say they're liberals and they can't tell me what to do. He's going to try to not follow court orders. He's not going to accept it. That's the first thing I see. So this is a new beginning. We're starting to fight back. We're seeing cracks in the foundations. We're seeing people stand up to him. That's what the No Kings protest is about. What's going on here? What's he going to do? He's going to look. He's going to try to figure something out. He's going to try to make a plan. And he's going to keep fighting them. So this is why they're looking at it's been leaked that 25th Amendment or impeachment takes a long time. I don't know if that can happen, but 25th Amendment happens really quickly. Let's look at he's going to keep fighting. He's going to keep fighting. Are the tariffs going to stay in place? Are the tariffs going to stay in place? Let's ask that. I know he's going to keep fighting in court, but are they going to honor that they said, well, you can't do the tariffs? Are the tariffs going to stay in place, even though Supreme Court said you can't do that? Are the tariffs going to stay in place? No. No. I don't know when they're going to switch it back, but let's look psychically. Okay, so when I look psychically, I see him standing there and he goes, tariffs, like put the money on the shelf, and then it just goes bloop. It's like it's falling down by itself. Like, no, we don't have to. Bloop. It's just going to, like, I don't know that there's a person there saying no tariffs, and I don't know when this is going to happen, but the tariffs are leaving, or he's leaving office, and this is going to be suspended. He can't do that. Okay. Let's look at when will these government projects in 22 states be funded? Because the federal judge said, and they're like, oh, we didn't understand your ruling. So now 22 governors were suing Kankles because they won't release the money that the judge said they need to release. So I think that, are they being personally, let me ask, are they being sued personally? Because it shouldn't cost the taxpayers money. Are they being sued personally? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Okay. Wow. What's going to happen with the lawsuit, with the governor suing for money for their projects? What's going to happen? He's going to try to control it. This is all about control. Control and power. He wants to control everybody and everything and have all the money. And he does not care if other people live or die, if the country is there or not. He does not care. That's what this is about. Everything is about control. That's the name of the game. Okay. Show me. Is the money, are they going to have to pay it out? I see them paying it out. It's like they're going like this, like, oh, we only have a little bit. Like they're going to dole it out slowly. Like we can't really get to all of it yet. Just like make excuses, stall. Is the money going to go? Is the money good for the projects? Or they're going to say, oh, it's not there. Wow. It's going to come through. The money's going to come through. Yeah. Some money is going to come through. There's like, well, okay, we're doing it. But they're still going to plan and scheme and try to take it to a higher court or appeal or whatever. They had no right in the first place. Let me just ask you, yes or no. Are the states going to be funded for the projects? Are the states going to be funded for the projects? Yes. Yeah, they are. Okay. Okay. I don't know when. And then let's look at already Kankles is posting on his Truth Social, whatever, that Hamas has been attacking Palestinians or something, and he's going to go kill them, which is going to send troops there. So this was not a peace deal. This was a temporary ceasefire. Thank God the hostages were released. That's a good thing. But I feel like this was all work, like a deal to make him look good, so he could say he actually ended a war. When the war is not ended, the war is just slowed down and kind of stopped for now, but not really. So long-term peace is more than just let's make a deal. In other words, Netanyahu is still doing the war. He's just doing it, without saying so. He's not going to give up his war, because then he'll lose power and he'll end up in jail and ousted from government. So not going to do that. But Kankel said, look, the Epstein stuff is coming out. I'm going to throw you under the bus too. You need to give me a win. That's how he works. He threatens people, even his friends. He might not have said it like that, but it's like, look, we've been giving you money. We have this information on the Epstein files that some of his big diplomats and big money people were involved. Oh, so yeah, I guess you better, make a deal with us. I need to look good too. My ratings are down. So that's what they did. But it's not a peace deal. It's a ceasefire and the returning of the hostages. Okay. Which we're all grateful for. At least I am. Okay, so is there going to be a 25th Amendment on this president? Are they going to do the 25th Amendment? It'd have to be Vance. Let's look at it. Will you turn on him? He wants to. It's like, I already have the paperwork. He's already looking at, like, how do you do that? Are you going to turn on him? He wants to. He really wants to. He's telling me I can't. Not now. He secretly wants to, but he's saying no, I can't. All right. Is there an impeachment coming, like after the midterms? Is there an impeachment coming? If he makes it to there, is there an impeachment coming? Is there an impeachment coming after the midterms? Oh, I think, yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, karma's coming. And definitely yes. Okay, that's how it looks now. We'll look again. All right. Also, I am doing personal sessions. I'm booking up for, I still have some sessions for November, the end of November. It's a great, also in December, it's a great Christmas gift, reading for your new year, or give one to somebody else. So that's all on my website, sibylharmony.com. I have some really cool classes on learn how to do past life regression and how to connect with your angels and guides, do healings with angels, create abundance with angels, and the wise ones, your guides. They work in tandem with your guides. You don't have to be a perfect person to connect with angels. They see who you are. They know that you have human flaws. We all do. We've all made mistakes. So it's not about being a perfect person. But also, some people are saying, well, I don't hear my guides, I don't hear my angels. Sometimes you have to look at what are you doing to block uh, messages, or you're receiving them but you don't like what you're hearing. Like, I had one student for years, he kept saying, they just keep saying they love me, but that's not what I want to hear. I wanted answers. I'm like, but you're not accepting the love. Okay. So also, if you're like taking a lot of heavy medications or drinking a lot or doing a lot of recreational drug use or things like that. Now, if you're a medium, you can connect to the other side. You can be drinking and smoking and doing all that. But if you're connecting with higher vibration beings, that's probably going to block you. Also, being very busy, being distracted, not having time alone, not, having health issues, not taking care of yourself, not having peace or quiet, or getting involved in a lot of drama or chaos or fear of that you might see, something scary. And people also don't understand sometimes the ways in which their guides and angels are talking to them. It isn't always, hello, Mary, here we are, and here's the dissertation of your life. It isn't like that. Or you see an angel in front of you. But I'll explain in the classes how to get guidance through thoughts, feelings, dreams, bumper stickers. You get a chill. There's many ways that your guides will connect with you. You don't have to be clairaudient, hear spirit voices, which is actually very rare with people. You don't have to be, a clairvoyant and seeing full bodied apparition. You don't have to do all that. You can if you want to develop that, but there are many ways that we all have psychic intuition. We all have thoughts and feelings. So there are many ways. And so that's part of what I teach in that class. And that class is December 6th, my past life regression class. So you can regress yourself, do a past life regression, learn who you were in a past life. Why would you want to do that? Because it's part of knowing who you are. And it's part of bringing in your gifts and patterns that you're stuck in. Like, why do I keep doing this? Oh, because this happened in a past life and it hasn't been resolved. So I also show you how to resolve and clear issues. So really super cool. Check out my website if you're interested in a Christmas reading or the beginning of the year readings. And I'm sending you so much love. Um, and we'll talk to you soon. I'll let you know Monday how the parade went, or the protest went. It looks big. I've been looking on TV that we're everywhere. You know, we're gonna have a new government. This guy is gonna be out of there. We have a lot holding us in place. We have us. It is us, the people, the power of the people. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican or an independent, it is the power of the people that we have rights, that we want to have a prosperous country where our kids can go to school, where we can own a home, where we can pay our medical bills. We can have that, and we can take back our country. And the more of us stand back, I mean stand up. Sorry, you can stand back and look at it, but don't walk away. Stand up, speak out. They can't come after all of us. And so, and I saw this one old guy with a sign, either protest now or bow down later. Okay. So this is the time that this will go down in history. And so, if you can't go, make a sign, click on videos of protests and give them a thumbs up, support those people. Whenever I see pro democracy people on YouTube, I'm like, okay, you at least get a like, if not a subscribe, because I like what you're saying. Anybody who's supporting us, and a lot of the mainstream media, they just now are finally talking about what's happening to the immigrants. They're just now talking about some of they're really not caught up. They're really not telling you. They're still making it seem like he's still a legitimate person, and the way the Republicans talk is like that he's still a legitimate, reasonable president that's helping people, which is just not true. It is not true. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. I believe he's demonic. I believe Hegseth is demonic. I mean, when I looked at his face, I was like, oh my God. Yeah, they're just bombing boats in the Caribbean. It's not, if there's somebody lived, they have a prisoner. It's not IA. They're not making it up. They're just illegally killing random people in boats because they're in near Venezuela, which they don't like. And because Hegseth is crazy. They're taking the press, they're trying to take away the press. We are going to push back. We are pushing back, and we are not having this. And that's how we get our country back. And we are going to get our country back. Looks like I'm going to say impeachment after the midterms. Yes on 50. Go to your local voting place if you're in California. If you're not in California, post on social media. Yes on 50. So people are aware, like, what is that? Well, here's what it is. They're trying to cheat and steal the election by grabbing more seats in Texas. So Governor Newsom, thank God on him, stood up and said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to make more seats here. But I want my people to tell me to do this. I'm not just going to gerrymander and do it, because I feel like it. It has to come from the people. And that's the law. So he's following the law. That's what we want. Law and order. Otherwise, you're just mayhem. People can do anything. Goons can grab you off the street and throw you in vans. People are fighting back against that. I've seen that. And that's what we have now. It's like a third world country. They can come into your house. They can drag you off, whether you're a citizen or not. We need to stand up. So, and we are. And we are going to create a better country. Maybe a country where, maybe, if you're a felon, you shouldn't be allowed to run for president. You have to be an American citizen at a certain age, but you could be a felon. You could be a gangster and run. Like, what? Maybe you should have like certain positions in government so we can actually see what you're doing before we place you up in there. And maybe we should look at, get dark money out of politics. That's the Supreme Court. They did that. They actually put us here. Billionaires and the Supreme Court, they filled the Supreme Court and they put us here. Now they're going, whoopsie, maybe we went too far. You think? You think? You thought this, I mean, they have more money, these guys, than they could have in 10 lifetimes, but they're going to take away food stamps for hungry kids and medical care for people. People are experiencing homelessness. This has just happened now. This has been happening. They've been doing this since the 60s. And it's time that we stop paying more attention to sports or the latest movie or whatever and get into the reality of, like, if you want to have a life, you need to be involved. So I'm lecturing people. Okay, but we are doing this. I'm so excited. All right, I'll let you know how it went. Take care. Bye for now.